Oh, camera view is not good. There we go. 7th round of the Group 3 Masters season. I'm Travis Vanos, and we're coming to you live from Spielberg, Australia, the Red Bull... Australia. Thanks, Travis. Austria, the Red Bull Ring circuit, as we see here. Pretty sure this is Steve Kuntz' first car on the racetrack, on his outlap. So we'll get set up here. Last week, once again, probably our most exciting race of the season, or our most exciting feature at least. AJ Knickel, Ridwan side by side in the final corner, had Knickel run out of fuel, and Ridwan stole the victory at the last second. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer also rounded out that podium in his second career GT7 event in AutoRacingConnected. So our first lap has been started. Ridwan Hamza not too far behind, our points leader. He's got a pretty sizable gap at this point, thanks to that win last week. It's what is that, 69-point lead. So good stuff for Ridwan. He's hoping to continue that here tonight. Stefan Robichad, he had a tricky race last week. Him and Fernando Rosario 3rd and 4th in the championship. Didn't have good races last week, as it doesn't look like liveries are showing. That's great. I'm not sure why that's happening, but still. Robichad hoping to bounce back this week. Jurgensmeyer, teammate to Knickel, hoping to get another podium here tonight. Tyler Heff back here, 5th car on track. Now not too far behind. Luke had a pretty interesting race last week. Was up front both races and spun on the final lap of the sprint race and ran out of fuel on the final lap in the features. So he's hoping to bounce back here tonight. Let's go back towards the front. Let's make sure. I think this is Steve Kuntz though. Might be Isaac Tano. I might just be dumb. I can't find the GT7. There it is. Alright. At the line. No, it is Steve Kuntz. I'm right. Alright. He set a... Did it get invalidated? I think it did? I'm not really sure. It didn't. Oh, it did. Okay. 128.6, but Ridwan easily beats that with a 127.7. First car into the 27s by a big margin. Jurgensmeyer goes 4th. Tyler Heff goes 2nd. Good lap from him. Teammate to Ridwan Hamza. Luke Allen out with a good lap back there. He's P6 out of 6 cars that have set lap times. Gabe Cazzola slide in behind him. Connor Hannick does the same. And then Marcus Snow go P. Where did he slot in? I think I'm not sure where he did. Oh, P7. I'm blind. Knickel also didn't have a good lap. P6 behind his teammate. Riker Lummel back after taking a week off last week. He's down in P9 on his first time lap. So 4 cars yet to set times. Fernando Rosario, Jamal Stallings, Adam Pelk, and Keenan Kimber. So both of the Windy City SimSport cars. And then East Coast Racing, their only entry tonight. Adam Pelk and Rosario, who is still in the pits actually. He's not come out on track yet. I'm not sure he has or not. I don't think he has though. Keenan Kimber. Or no, actually Rosario has a time penalty. Or a qualifying penalty, sorry. For instance caused last week. He held Knickel up in qualifying, so he's not allowed to partake in this qualifying session. He'll have to start from the rear of the grid. Which, if you're going to have a qualifying penalty, this is probably the series you'd want to do it in. Get that over with in the sprint and maybe have a good starting spot for the feature. Maybe a 8th, 7th, or 1st, 2nd, or 3rd place start in the feature, as Keenan Kimber following AJ Knickel closely behind. Some of the liveries are starting to show up. Hope that get all of them for the start of the sprint race. Knickel is going to come around the final corner here. We'll see if he's able to jump up on his lap time. Gabe Cazzola did go faster. As we continue to watch Keenan Kimber, he'll get a great slipstream down the front straightaway. 128.9 up to P4 for Kimber. Great lap from him, and Knickel did not go faster. Lummel with a 134. P11. 2/10 faster. Again, not a track designed for his race car, that Honda. So he'll be in trouble, I assume. But his only podium of the season, Spa, he is more of a straight line track than, you know, corners, I guess you would put it. More technical track, or opposite, whatever, you know what I mean. Tyler Heff P2 right now, a 1-2 for the teammates of FR Racing. He's up on his time. Jamal Stallings and Adam Pope get their first lap times, and they went 11 and 13. Solid from them. Hope to improve throughout the session. So back to the front, we'll follow along with Tyler Heck, who's on a lap, and it looks like he was up last time we were with him. Might have went a little bit off there. That could hurt his lap time just a tiny bit. Just through the double left-handers here. Looks pretty solid. Down a second on his lap though, so he might come in to put some tires on it and get back out there. See if he decides to dive it in on pit road this time by. Now he's going to leave it out there, so maybe he's up on his lap time after those mistakes through the middle sector. It's Connor Hannock not too far behind him. Hope to see him go faster here. He will not. Neither of them improve. Back here, Roby Chad on another lap. 10th down on his. Ridwan has came out of the pits, and now he's on an out lap. Back to Steve Kuntz. We'll see through this sector if he's up on his time. Up a 10th. That would move him up to second. Wouldn't get him close enough to our provisional pole sitter Ridwan Hamza yet, but still a lot of time to improve. About 2.5 minutes left in this session. He's going to come through the final corner. See at the line if he's able to improve. To P2 goes Steve Kuntz, just thousandths faster, but that's enough for P2. See if we got anybody on a lap here. Roby Chad, we'll see if he can improve on this, or if this is just getting back to the pit slap to put on new tires before the end of the session. Big loose, that might have been a little bit of lag too, about a half a tenth down on his lap time. Jurgensmeyer is going to have his final lap. Knickel is a 5/10 penalty, but he'll be able to serve that before he gets to the line, so he'll be fine. Marcus Snow and Adam Pope pretty close together on their laps. So we'll try and find somebody who's on a lap here. Tyler Heff is on a lap. I think this is an out lap. Maybe not. Was not. Connor Hannock goes faster on his time of 1:29. He's in P10 right behind his teammate. Roby Chat does indeed go faster to P4. Jumps ahead of Keenan Kimber, and I think Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, I think he was also behind him. Still keeps in it, trying to improve on that lap time even more. Jurgensmeyer is going to start his final lap time. A couple of people actually at the line now starting their final time. Won't be able to get back around. So we'll go to Ridwan here. We'll see where Ridwan is on the track. He's going to get one more lap in after this as well. He'll have enough time to get to the line and start another one if he would like to. See if he can improve on this time though. Final corner. Down the front straightaway. At the line, it's going to be a 1:27.5. Goes 2/10 faster. Full second ahead of the rest of the field. Good stuff from Ridwan. We'll see if anybody can even come close. Keenan Kimber is going to have a 5/10 penalty. He's going to be done for qualifying, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he'll be able to get back around. So we'll go to P2 in the championship. AJ Knickel trying to find some speed here. Trying to improve anywhere he can. Half a tenth down right now, but he's got a little bit of slipstream from Luke Allen up ahead. See if he can use that to his advantage. To the penultimate corner, and then the final corner they're going to go. Connor Hannock jumped up the P6 there. Saw that in the bottom left hand corner. Great lap from Connor. See if AJ can improve at the line. He'll go to P2, 7/10 up on his lap time. Still way far off of your pole sitter, or provisional pole sitter, Ridwan Hamza. But second through fourth, actually pretty close. Tyler Heff, Steve Kuntz, and AJ Knickel. See if anyone else is on a lap time. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer was not able to improve. Somebody else jumped ahead of Jurgensmeyer. Or no, it was just Hannock. Jamal Stallings goes a little bit faster, P11. So I don't think we have anyone else. Nope, Adam Pelk is on a lap still. There's a car in turn 4 or 3, I think that is. I'm trying to find out. Tyler Heff is also on a lap. So we'll go to Adam Pelk first, see if he can improve. Adam, he's had more race speed, race trim speed than quality speed. See that might be more of the same here tonight as he comes through the final 2 corners. See if he can improve on his lap time. If it is, it's not going to be by much. I'm not sure if he'll jump a position. Adam will not improve on his lap time. Back to Tyler Heff. He's coming through the final corner right now. See if he can move himself back up to P2. Looks like it's going to be a good lap. Tyler Heff isn't able to improve. 2/10 down on his lap. So there you go. Ridwan Hamza once again will sit on pole here as he's trolling around, I think. I'm not sure why he's still out there. Yeah, he's messing around with the gallon. He'll start P1. AJ Knickel P2. Looked like it was going to be a mid-pack start for him, but was able to jump up at the last second. Steve Kuntz, good lap from him. P3. Tyler Heff 1-4 for the FR Racing teammates. Stefan Robichads P5. Keenan Kimber P6. Hopes to improve on a disappointing finish last week. He was battling for that final podium spot with Adam Pelk and Jonathan Jurgensmeyer and just missed out on it. Connor Hannock P7. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer P8. Marcus Snow P9. Luke Allen rounds out your top 10 in P10. Jamal Stallings back. I think he DNQ'd unfortunately last week, but P11 for him. Gabe Cazzola. A little bit of a scare getting into the race, but he's here. He's P12. Riker Lummel P13, back after a week of absence, and Adam Pelk P14. And then rounding out your grid with a qualifying penalty will be Fernando Rosario. So Ridwan's gonna hopefully cross the line at some point here. Let's just watch him practice his starts, I guess. So that'll bring an end to qualifying as we'll get into the start of the race now. See on the right-hand side, basically a 10th faster than Knickel Ridwan was. Helps his championship hopes. I think he's almost close on finishing out this championship. He might be able to take it tonight. Let's see. Not exactly sure. Don't have the points format here, so I can't confirm that he could, but it's possible. I'll say that. So we wait for the final sprint to start now. 10 laps will be our sprint race, and then 19 for the feature. So a little bit longer than most weeks, but a shorter track. Only minute 30s, so should be about the same amount of time. So we patiently wait for the sprint to get started. So here we go. Gonna get started here. Let me hit the spectate button. That would probably be smart. There we go. Alright. 3, 4, 5 red lights here. And Ridwan doesn't get the start that he liked. AJ Knickel got him off the line, but it looks like down on the power, Ridwan was able to pull away. AJ gonna have to deal with Steve Kuntz around the outside into turn 1. Steve gonna get around the outside, keep it there through the corner. Not able to complete the pass though. Knickel trying to get the slipstream off. Ridwan is gonna take back P2. Farther back, Keenan Kimber trying to make a move on P5. Steve Kuntz looking back up the inside on Knickel. Not gonna happen. Tyler Heff sends it up his outside. Might have gotten into Knickel a little bit. Not exactly sure, but it looks like AJ is able to keep P2 from Tyler Heff. Now Tyler's gonna use the slipstream, try to get him down into turn 3. Tyler will look to the inside here. Doesn't, keeps it in line. Side's better of it. Keenan Kimber able to get around Steve for P4. Great stuff. 2 positions off the start for Kimber. Steve Kuntz got a penalty too. Half a tenth penalty there. Tyler Heff was able to get around Knickel. Looks like AJ might have dipped his left side wheels into the grass there. So now Keenan Kimber smells blood in the water all over the back of Knickel. Pretty big line from second to about 8th there. Steve Kuntz going to have to serve that penalty coming up here. It's going to hurt him a lot. We'll see him drop through the field. He's going to lose a position to Connor Hanick for sure. Might end up losing a position to Connor's teammate as well. Able to stay ahead of him though. Back up to the front. Tyler Heff trying to pull away from Knickel. Making a 1-2 for FR Racing as AJ Knickel has lost a second on him already. Keenan Kimber all over the back of Knickel still. It's further back. Connor Hanick getting attacked by Steve Kuntz now up into turn 1. Steve thinks better of it. Slots back in line. Jamal Stallings making a move on Gabe Cazzola back there. Farther back in the pack. It's Knickel with a 5/10 penalty off of turn 1, so he's probably going to lose that final podium spot here to Keenan Kimber. Keenan probably just going to bide his time now. He doesn't really have to get around Knickel, as Tyler Heff also has a 5/10 penalty. So that's big for Keenan Kimber, who's going to gain at least 1 position. He's going to be right back on the back bumper of Tyler Heff here. So Ridwan Hamza, 2-second lead already through a lap and a half of this sprint race. Farther back, Roby Chad able to keep P5 for now, was able to pass Steve Kuntz there. That 5/10 penalty might have had a little bit of an off too from Steve. Luke Allen ahead of his teammate, or behind his, ahead of his teammate Connor Hanick. Connor got really loose off of that corner, now having to deal with Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. Jurgensmeyer gonna retake 8th place, lost it on the start. He'll take 8th back up to the front. We'll see Knickel and Heff have to serve their penalties. Heff serves it. Now here comes Knickel. Doesn't go offline like we saw Steve Kuntz do. Oh, Keenan might have gotten to the back of him there. Not exactly sure what happened. Keenan was not able to take away P3 from Knickel. So now 2nd through 6th, or 3rd through 6th, sorry, under a blanket here. Knickel's backed them all up. See through the first corner. We'll see if Kimber gets a good exit to try and attack him down this straightaway. Did exactly that. Gained on him through the corner. I don't think it's going to be enough for Keenan to close in. AJ slowly reeling in. Tyler Heff, 1.3 seconds is the gap. Ridwan up to a 4-second gap. 2.5 laps through this sprint race. Really showing his pace here. Tyler Heff tries to get away from the draft. Keenan Kimber going to look to the right-hand side there of Knickel for a second. Slots back in line. It's farther back. Roby Chad under pressure from Steve Kuntz. And not too far behind is Luke Allen trying to get a top 5 here in this sprint race. As Connor Hanick has gotten back around Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. It looks like somebody had a penalty there. It's Luke Allen. So that's going to throw him back to his teammate and Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. Keenan Kimber in the dirty Eric Knickel, a little bit off the line there. Really struggling as he backs up to Steve Kuntz. Loses a second there to Knickel. Stefan Robichad, sorry, not Steve Kuntz. Steve is still in 6th. So Robichad trying to find a way around for P4 and then to attack AJ Knickel for that final podium spot. Let's go back through the field. P10, Fernando Rosario up 5 spots from the start as he gets a 5/10 penalty. That's going to hurt him. His voyage to the front after that qualifying penalty. Connor Hanick also with that 5/10 penalty, not too far ahead of him. So we'll be able to stay with Hanick at least. Keenan Kimber, he's lost a lot of time to Knickel. Meanwhile, Knickel is really reeled in Heff as Knickel gets another time penalty. Struggling with track limits here in the sprint race, almost halfway through, is Knickel. It's going to hurt him on his quest to take P2 back away from Tyler Heff. It's now a 6-second gap. Ridwan to Tyler Heff. He's just unstoppable, honestly. You just can't really do much. Back down through the field. It looks like AJ's actually lost quite a bit of time on this lap too. Keenan Kimber reeled him in just a little bit with Robichad right on his back bumper. And Steve Kuntz not too far behind. Keenan looked like he was really wide through that first part of the corner. Same with Steve Kuntz. It's Robichad trying to find a way past Knickel now will serve that time penalty. He's going to back into Keenan Kimber, Stefan Robichad, and Steve Kuntz. Not what he wanted to see as Tyler F gains an even bigger lead, almost 2 seconds now over Knickel. Ridwan has got it out to 7 seconds. You see him up the road there, already entering the first corner by the time these guys get to the line. As Steve Kuntz now going to try a move into the first corner on Stefan Robichad. It's going to easily happen. Steve Kuntz back up to P5 as he gets loose off the corner, able to save it though. So Robichad now going to see if he gives him a push. He will. Doesn't want to make the move back on him. It's back. You got a huge line of cars. Luke Allen, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, Connor Hannick, Fernando Rosario, and Marcus Snow, all pretty close to each other. Keenan Kimber trying to reel back in Knickel, and Knickel has took a huge chomp out of that gap from P2 to P3 on Tyler Heff. So we're about to hit the halfway mark here at the line. Tyler Heff looking really, really good so far through this sprint race. Been a tough couple of leaks, but he's showing why he's teammates with Ridwan, that he can still compete up at the front. See, it's really loose off of that corner. Could have been a little bit of common GT7 lag, but still pretty loose from him. Gap now under a second from him to Knickel. As Ridwan Hamza is going to come out of the final corner and hit the line for halfway through this race. 5 to go now. He has now got the lead up to 8.5 seconds. Sets the fastest lap of the race on that lap too. 27.9. Just showing off at this point as Tyler Heff improves on his lap, but nowhere near Mr. Ridwan, as Steve Kuntz now going to look up the inside of Keenan Kimber for P4. Keenan's lost a lot of ground to Knickel in these last few laps. He's able to keep P4 though from Steve Kuntz. So he's going to have to try another way around. Stefan Robichad though is going to have a huge run thanks to that defense from Keenan Kimber. Stefan's going to look to the left-hand side. Goes the long way around, at least before the corner. Steve doesn't send it up the inside. Stefan takes away P5 once again. Knickel 8/10 back. Tyler Heff, he's trying to reel him in as best as he can. Limit the damage that Ridwan is doing by just pulling away from these guys. Gap is 9.5 seconds now. Probably will be up to 10 seconds by the end of this lap. Tyler Heff used up a little more tire than Knickel. Keenan Kimber has a 5/10 penalty. So that surely will put him behind Stefan Robichad here if Stefan's able to stay within probably about 6/10. Stefan goes a little bit wide though. Hope he doesn't get a time penalty there. So we'll watch Keenan Kimber here. We'll see if he pulls offline. He will not. He'll stay in the preferred line. Robichad gonna look to the right hand side, try and take away P5. Steve Kuntz gonna try to follow through. Might have had a little bit of contact there. He's gonna have to settle to stay in P6. Keenan Kimber now gonna have to try and fight back on Stefan Robichad. Meanwhile, Tyler Heff has lost P2 and gotten a time penalty. So Tyler Heff not only loses the position, but insult to injury, gets a time penalty to go along with it. So he's gonna have to get really close to AJ. Might even have to try and get past him here. So try and reel him in on this straightaway now. Maybe set himself up for a pass entering turn 3. Really late on the braking there. So reeled AJ in a lot. Pretty good exit off too. We'll see if he's able to get to him before the corner. Huge slipstream down this long straightaway. Knickel looks left hand side, or right hand side, fends it off. Not even close enough for Tyler to think about that move. As Knickel went wide again. Yeah, you saw that. Thought it might have just been lag at first, but no. Knickel dipped his left sides into the gravel again, and that's going to give Tyler Heff enough room to maybe keep this position. We'll see through this next corner if he's able to keep it. No, AJ going to look back to the left-hand side. They're going to be side by side by the time Tyler gets there. Tyler going to stay in the preferred line. Knickel just easily going to go around his right-hand side. Tyler's going to be right there, able to use the slipstream to hopefully get back around. Steve Kuntz has gotten around Keenan Kimber for P5. And Luke Allen now trying to look around the outside for P6, not too far behind. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer trying to capitalize on both of these guys. Maybe get a slipstream, send it 3 wide. Although that time penalty that he has is not going to help him. We'll follow along with this battle as Luke Allen tries to take away P6. into the corner. Keenan Kimber going to keep the position. Luke Allen trying to get the run off and get back at him. It's back up there. You see Tyler Heff got another time penalty. That's going to hurt him, maybe hurt his chance at taking a final podium spot in this race, as he's going to fall into the clutches of Stefan Robichad. It's back farther back. Keenan Kimber still under attack from Luke Allen. Luke now to his left-hand side once again. See if he can complete the pass here. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer not too far behind. Keenan slots back in line, looks back inside again before the corner. Not going to happen though. Oh, Luke goes a little bit wide, gets sent off into the gravel. Keenan Kimber wasn't expecting him to slow up that much and sent him off. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer going to take P6 away, gets 2 in 1 corner. Keenan Kimber slowed way down there too. I'm not sure if he meant to do that, but Jonathan Jurgensmeyer really liking that, as he's able to get 2 for 1 there thanks to that mistake from Keenan Kimber. Luke just missed the corners the tiniest bit, and Keenan couldn't really slow up in time. Tyler Heff now with that time penalty falls into the clutches of Stefan Robichad. Yellow flag up here. That's a lap car of Gabe Cazzola. He's just going to lock it down next to the guardrail. Hopefully let these guys by. He's trying to do a 180, or yeah, you know what I mean. Trying to get back straight. 14 seconds now is the gap from P1 to P2 with 2 laps remaining. Ridwan still setting purple sectors. Stefan Robichad now all over the back of Tyler Heff. He's going to want to make this pass quickly and cleanly, as he doesn't want to let Steve Kuntz get back into this battle. So we'll go up through turn 3. Or I guess turn 2. It depends on how you look at the track, but Steve Kuntz within 8 tenths now of Stefan Robichad, who's within 5, or was within 5. Now it's within about 9. It's Tyler Heff later on the brakes than Robichad was. Nichols pulled pretty clear of these guys. He's going to safely have P2 with no mistakes here. It's him off in the distance. It's Robichad trying to find a way past Tyler Heff and not allow Steve Kuntz to gain any more time than he already has on these two. Stefan actually going to get really close before the penultimate corner. Not close enough to make a move though. Goes really wide on corner entry. Has a huge run on exit. Tyler Heff might get a time penalty for that too. He went really wide on exit. But it won't matter because Stefan Robichad's going to have a huge run and look to his right-hand side. But Steve Kuntz is now up to the back of him. Will he try 3 wide into turn 1? No, he won't, but he's going to easily get by Tyler Heff. But Tyler sends it up his outside into turn 1. Oh, Steve got really loose off that corner and lost all the ground he gained on Stefan. Tyler Heff trying to make the move back on him, even with that time penalty. Steve Kuntz probably not too happy with the way he was battled there. Tyler Heff late on the brakes, going to take back P3. He's going to have to gain a lot of the time, though, if he wants to cover off Steve Kuntz for it. But Stefan Robichad, that was probably the best thing he could have saw. As Tyler Heff sent it back up the outside for that position. These guys had a couple more laps, man. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer would have been there. He might have been there. He's gained a lot of time in these last few laps. Tyler Heff went a little bit wide there. Maybe would have had an issue, but meanwhile, Ridwan Hamza with his almost 16-second lead is going to dominate this sprint race. Never was really even a question. He's going to come out of the final corner now. Ridwan Hamza has not lost a race yet. Well, he has lost a race, but hasn't lost a night at... Wow, I fucked that up really badly. That's unfortunate. Stefan Robichad, or not... Okay, you know what? I'm just going to take a breather. All right, there we go. Geez. Stefan Robichad will take home P3. AJ Knickel P2 pretty easily after those guys got the battle, and Robichad P3 with Tyler Heff's penalty that sent him down into P5. Steve Kuntz P3 starting spot will take P4. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, great drive through the field, really clean. P6. Connor Hanick P7. Luke Allen got the position back from Keenan Kimber P8. Speaking of Keenan, he's P9. Marcus Snow P10. Fernando Rosario P11 was never able to get up through the field like you want. Riker Lummel P12. Adam Pelk, not the race pace we've seen from him in weeks past, P13. Jamal Stallings really loose through the final corner, P15. And Gabe Cazzola will bring it home in P15. But Ridwan, what I was trying to say before I stumble over all my words, has won at least one race every single night. That's what I was trying to say. I screwed up pretty badly. So that's my fault, but yeah. Meanwhile, Ridwan Hamza continues to dominate. So he takes that sprint race win. So we'll hopefully get this set up pretty quickly. So let's see. That's what I was gonna. We'll see if we can try and tally up. AJ Knickel still has a shot at this one. So you gained 5 points there. So the gap right now, after that sprint race, would be 74. So AJ can still win it, technically. He would need Ridwan to not get a single point. Or can he? No, I don't. Yeah, I guess he can. He can. He can pretty easily, but because you get 17, so that's what? 34. So we'll see if he's able to pull this off. The gap would have to be 109 for Mr. Ridwan to clinch, and it is not that. It's only 74. So AJ still has a shot at this one. But after this, take away that 25. Ridwan's got an 85 or 84 point gap after this, so pretty sure all Ridwan has to do here is win this race, and he's got the championship on lock. Yeah, that's all he'd have to do. Just win this race. He's got to have an 84 point gap after this race. So win the race, and he's the champion. It's basically the saying, but AJ would need a lot to pull that off if he wanted this win as, let's see, I kind of forgot to mention the inverts. We'll see that now. As it's going to be, I'm pretty sure we'll have... So Keenan actually gave the spot back before the line, so good sportsmanship there. Luke Allen will start on pole, followed by Connor Hannock, Jonathan Juergensmeyer, Tyler Heff, Steve Kuntz, Stefan Robichaud, AJ Knickel, Ridwan Hamza. So, I mean, Jonathan Juergensmeyer could, if he gets the lead pretty quickly, he could pull out a decent-sized lead. I don't know if he'd be able to fend it off from people like Ridwan and Knickel, but shown that he has the pace to contend for these podiums, so something to look at there. A couple of those guys. Connor Hannock also had some speed last week. See if he can maybe pull away. Luke Allen, he was also showing that he was pretty quick, about as quick as Keenan Kimber, who was battling for that final podium spot for a little bit there. So we'll hope to get this started pretty soon. Yep, there we go. All right. So a 19 lap feature, 9 laps longer than our sprint, so not too long of a race. Should be pretty easy for these drivers. So we'll get into the spectate menu here. LA7 car is on pole as looks like we've gotten all of our liveries back, so there we go. Let's wait for the red lights to start here. Pretty long lights. So they finally appear. 3, 4, 5 red lights. And Luke Allen gonna get the jump on his teammate at first, but it looks like Connor Hannock gets better off the line. Steve Kuntz trying to send up 3 wide. Not gonna happen. Tyler Heff covers that off. Now Tyler might have gotten into the back of Luke Allen there. He did. Luke Allen sent way off the track from Tyler Heff. He's gonna take over P1. Tyler Heff into the back of Luke Allen. Sent him really wide, but it helped Luke as long as he doesn't get a penalty. Tyler now going to look to the inside of Connor Hannock. Connor shuts the door. Connor now gonna have to fend off the charge around the outside. Luke Allen misses the corner just a little bit, allows his teammate to look to his right-hand side. Connor Hannick now gonna try and take away the lead. It's top three under a blanket. Tyler Heff now giving the outside lane to the side-by-side with Luke Allen for the lead. Late on the brakes, sends it deep into that corner. Luke Allen gets into the side of him though, sends him off the racetrack. Connor Hannick gets him into his teammate. Off the track, around goes Luke Allen. Doesn't look like he involved anybody there though. Good avoidance for everyone. AJ Knickel up to P3, solid start from him. Keenan Kimber to P4, Marcus Snow, I think that is. No, it's Roby Chad off the racetrack. Roby Chad sends really wide off the racetrack. He's not going to be too happy with that as, oh, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer made a little contact there with Steve Kuntz. He's going to try and keep it side by side with him. Rosario blocking off Ridwan. Still, Ridwan going to send it way up the inside of him and try and take away P7 there. He will. Luke Allen sent around there by his teammate after, not Steve Kuntz, Tyler Heff went a little bit wide, but Connor Hannick, meanwhile, leads the first lap of this feature race. AJ Knickel with a 5/10 penalty. After that great start from him, it's going to come crumbling down here as he's going to lose a lot of time. Connor Hannick goes wide. Tyler Heff going to beat and bang with him down this straightaway. AJ Knickel trying to find a way past Connor Hannick there through the right-hand side. Both of them have time penalties with Connor Hannick going wide through that corner. Tyler Heff takes the lead once again. Oh, into the back of Kimber there. That was Steve Kuntz. Might have been a little bit of lag as well. Connor Hannick now, he might have gotten a little bit of contact there with a little bit of just a ricochet there from Keenan Kimber's car. So now Steve Kuntz going to look up the inside there of Keenan Kimber. Not going to happen in this corner though. Actually though, Connor and him go really wide, both into the gravel. Kimber almost spins it around as Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, meanwhile getting passed by Fernando Rosario here. They're going to go 3 wide with Keenan Kimber there for a second. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer thinks better of it. 5/10 penalties through the field. Ridwan might have gotten one himself right there as he goes around the outside of Steve Kuntz. Brilliant move there from Ridwan. He's going to get around Keenan Kimber now here with this 5/10 penalty. Or not Keenan Kimber, sorry, Connor Hannick. Yeah, around the outside goes Ridwan Hamza pretty easily up into P3, and especially with Knickel's penalties, not too far off of him. He's 8/10 back of Knickel, who's a second back of Ridwan's teammate as... No, he just lost a lot of time through that corner. Thought we had a safety car there for a second with how much he slowed up. Through 2 laps of this Grand Prix, Tyler Heff has led one of them. The other one was led by Connor Hannick. Knickel into the barrier. Got really loose off the corner and is going to lose P2. Thought he was going to go around there for a second, but was able to save it at least into the barrier. Keeps him from going to the back to at least P5. So Connor Hannick back up to a podium spot with Steve Kuntz not too far behind. Could have been disastrous for AJ Knickel, but able to keep it nonetheless. It's Ridwan Hamza. Now he's going to have to chase down his teammate Tyler Heff. Kind of similar to Daytona, our first feature race of the year. Pretty much the same thing. Tyler Heff was able to get away on the start and just pull away from these guys, and then Ridwan slowly but surely caught him and took away the lead at about the halfway point. So still a pretty long ways to go until we get to the halfway point, but see if Mr. Heff can lead it till then. Steve Kuntz going to look up the inside of Connor Hannick there for a second. Not going to make that move right there though. So, Steve Kuntz trying to find a way around Hannick before Knickel goes after him, as Knickel probably isn't too happy with himself after that move. Had the track position on Ridwan, probably was hoping to get by Tyler Heff and get away. So now he's going to have to try and chase down both Heff and Hamza, teammates. So see if we'll go back up to the front. They're both on softs. Hannick and Kuntz decide to go on mediums as Kuntz looked up the right-hand side. Not going to make the move though. Ooh, man, a lot of loose off of that corner. As these three are under a blanket, man. Steve Kuntz will look to the right-hand side, not before Knickel looks to his. So he's going to have to go around the long way of Connor Hannick, and I don't know if that's going to work for him. He pins him to the curb as best as he can, but it's not going to happen. Now Knickel is going to look to his inside, but that's not going to work for Kuntz either. He'll fall back into P5 now as Knickel now will go after Connor Hannick, with Fernando Rosario slowly but surely reeling in these guys. Rosario with a disastrous sprint race, wasn't able to work his way through the field. Oh, is that Connor Hannick? Connor Hannick went around. He's in the middle of the racetrack. Oh man, he's just gonna have to sit there for a second. Disastrous for Connor Hannick. He had a great start, and unfortunately goes around. Might have had a little bit of contact from Knickles. Knickles lost a bit of time. Ridwan Hamza with a 5-10 penalty that he's gonna have to serve right here. It's gonna help his teammate Tyler Huff keep the lead for now. We're going to lap 5 here. 4 laps completed. So now Steve Kuhn's going to try and keep up with Knickles. Knickles tries to run down Ridwan and Tyler Heff. Ridwan with a 4-second gap over AJ Knickle. 5 seconds pretty much for Tyler Heff over Knickle. Yeah, it is exactly 5 seconds. Knickle with a really loose car off of that corner as Fernando Rosario now to the back of Steve Kuhn's going to look to his left-hand side. Steve with a 5-10 penalty. So even without this pass completed here, Steve is surely going to have to give up this position at some point. Fernando Rosario, though, long way around, gets that position. Now he's going to try and chase down Knickle. Wait a second, 2/10 back from Knickle, so not too big of a gap. Knickle still trying to chase down Ridwan, as actually Ridwan, we missed the pass for the lead. Didn't expect it to happen that soon with that 5-10 penalty the lap before, but Tyler Heff loses the lead to his teammate. Still a huge gap to Knickle, hopes to keep that P2 spot through the rest of this race. We'll have to go on to the worst compound later, but so will Knickle. Actually, Rosario is the one these guys might have to watch out for. If those softs are much quicker than the mediums, Rosario might have a shot at a better position here than just P3. As Knickles pull a little bit of a gap on Rosario through 5 laps in this Grand Prix. As Ridwan hits the line, fastest lap of the race, a 1:28.3. We're going to the first corner. Second gap to his teammate. AJ Knickle about the same gap to Tyler Heff as it was to Ridwan Hamza. AJ really, if he has any shot at this championship, which it's looking slim to none now, he's gonna have to hope for a safety car at this point, because I don't think Ridwan is gonna make a mistake at a racetrack like this, and he's gonna have to win to keep his championship hopes alive. Let's go down the straightaway here. Steve Kuntz now under pressure. Keenan Kimber. Keenan gained a lot of time on these guys. Gabe Cazola, who saw finished P15 in the sprint race, is already up to P7. So I'm not sure if Gabe changed something in his race car or just didn't have a good start and couldn't never recover from it. He's up to P7 now, ahead of Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, who I kind of expected to do a little bit more in this race, but unfortunately just not a great start. Sent off the racetrack a little bit, I'm pretty sure, and hasn't been able to recover yet. He's on the medium tire, so he'll go soft later in the race. As we go down the straightaway, Keenan Kimber was able to make the pass on Steve Kuntz, as now he'll set his sights for Rosario. Knickle, he's lost a second to Tyler Heff. They're on the same tires too, so can't even blame it on a medium. 7 seconds back from the leader, Ridwan Hamza, who set another fastest lap of the race at 1:28.1. Good on the straightaway. Ridwan, just once again, he has not lost a feature race this season. Hasn't went at least one night without winning. So looks like he's gonna complete that or continue that streak. He's got really loose off of that corner. Lost a bit of time, it seemed like. Yeah, he did. He lost a actually good chunk of time. As AJ Knickle at the time battled the same with Rosario, and I think Keenan Kimber did as well. So 3 cars in the top 6. With time penalties, that's going to help Steve Kuntz reel in Rosario and Knickle. Knickle's actually pulled quite a big of a gap on Rosario, so those mediums not treating him well. 10 seconds back of the leader, so I don't think even with compound change that it would help Rosario too much. See everyone serve their time penalties here. Knickle, he's got about a 4-second gap before he hits this line. Actually, will probably still be about 4 seconds as Rosario hits the line. Also has to serve his. Same, not Steve Kuntz though. Steve Kuntz able to reel in Rosario up to the back bumper. So Rosario decides to give up on these medium tires, and he'll go early for the softs. He's gonna have to go quite a ways on these though, about 12 laps. Pretty long way for him to go, but we'll see if that works out for him. Gabe Cazzola slots up to P6, and he's not too far behind Steve Kuntz and Keenan Kimber. Looks like Jonathan Juergensmeyer was passed by Stefan Robichad. Stefan went way off in, I think that was turn 5, I think it was, that he was sent off the track. So great recovery drive so far from him, even with the one car that has pitted of Fernando Rosario. He'll have to gain some time here on Gabe Cazzola this lap and slot himself up into P6. Knickel gap to second right now, 5.5 seconds. It looks like FR Racing just brought some really good cars. Maybe just the car might just be a little bit better here than some of the rest. I'm not exactly sure, but Tyler Heff benefiting from it. So Tyler will go through those double left-handers, see if he gains any time here on Ridwan. He's only lost 3 seconds to Ridwan. That's pretty solid for what we've seen from other drivers throughout the series. Ridwan can just manage to pull huge gaps on you without blinking an eye. This will be halfway through the race, or next time by will be halfway through the race. Pretty much halfway, about as halfway as you can get. Let's see if anyone else decided to come down pit road. Marcus Snow, teammate of Stefan Robichad, will decide to come down. Thought it was him at first that went off the track, but it wasn't. It's his teammate. He's on the medium, so he's also going to go a little bit longer than most on the softs. Oh, car off into the gravel. I think that was Connor Hannock. Yeah, Connor Hannock. Him and his teammate Luke Allen have had their issues, it looks like, in this race. Both been sent spinning. LA7 not having the race that they hoped. AJ Knickel has the gap down to under 5 seconds as Steve Kuntz P4. Farther back though. Stefan Robichad up to P6 now. He's going to set his sights on Keenan Kimber. I don't think a podium is in the cards here for him tonight, but P4 would still be pretty solid for him nonetheless. It's Gabe Cazzola really let on the brakes there, reeling through the braking zone. Gabe also on the softs, so should see him come in sooner rather than later. Actually, a lot of these guys decide to pit for, so I know the top 3 are all on softs. Ridwan goes another lap. See if Tyler Heff does the same. 6 seconds is that gap now, just as I was complimenting him. Ridwan is starting to stretch it out. AJ Knickel's got down to 3.5 seconds. Gap to P2. Steve Kuntz continues to lose time to Knickel. Keenan Kimber dives it down pit road. He'll switch on to the mediums. So he's the third car to pit. That is, I know of at least. I'm not sure if these two back here at pit. It's Adam Pelk in P10. He's under pressure from Jamal Stallings. It's not the same Adam Pelk we've seen in recent, or since, honestly, second race. Adam's been pretty quick, but more of the same from Daytona. He just hasn't been able to get to the front. Riker Lumble kind of is in his own zip code here. That Honda is not meant for the straight line tracks, it seems. Gabe Cazzola's lost a bit of time. Stefan Robichad here he's backed into Jonathan Juergensmeyer for P7 or P6, sorry. As Steve Kuntz with a time penalty. I'll have to serve that. Allow Stefan Robichad to reel him in even more. So we'll go back up to the leader here. We'll see if this is the lap that Ridwan decides to pit. Coming to lap 11 of this race. See if he dives it in here. Not going to happen this lap. Tyler Heff. Assume if his teammate stayed out, he'll also stay out. Maybe not. Could be wrong though. Yep, Tyler Heff decides to stay out one more lap. Knickel, same with him. See if Steve Kuntz or Stefan Robichad dive it down pit road here. Steve Kuntz looks like he'll make the dive to pit road. So he'll switch onto the softs. One of the first guys that we'll see. Second, I think, him and Fernando Rosario both on soft tires. See where he slots in compared to Stefan. Or Rosario, sorry. Rosario, that's who I mean. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer also going to switch to the softs now as he was just about to catch Gabe Cazola. Probably best for him. He doesn't want to get into a battle, lose too much time. So we'll go back up to the front now. Tyler Heff. Gap between him and Knickel now 2 seconds as Knickel continues to reel him in. So I think I might have gotten it wrong. I think Knickel can still finish second in this race and still have championship hopes. So we'll see if that's the case after. I'll have to recalculate it just a little bit. Knickel continues to try and reel in Tyler Heff, gap 2.2 seconds. So we'll go back up to Ridwan here, see if he decides to make his pit stop. Yes, he will. Coming to lap 12, Ridwan will make his pit stop, his one and only pit stop. Thanks for the audio glitch. There we go. Tyler Heff will also come down pit road. AJ Knickel follows him, so the top three all decide to come down pit road. We'll see if Roby Chad follows them in. He's actually taking quite good care of his soft tires, so yeah, he's going to decide to stay out a little bit longer here. Gabe Cazola, he'll dive it down pit road on the softs. He'll have to switch to mediums. Riker Lummel decides to go a bit longer, and that's about the rest of the cars we have to worry about. Adam Pelk also going to have to pit. Steve Kuntz was able to cover off Fernando Rosario here. 3.5 second gap to Rosario, so we'll see where the rest of the field comes out. So Ridwan already out of the pits, way ahead of them. Not even too far behind Riker Lummel. It's Tyler Heff now going to come out of the pits safely ahead of AJ Knickel. He actually took out quite a lot less fuel than Knickel. Steve Kuntz now going to come out of the first corner pretty far behind AJ Knickel, about a 3-second gap it's going to be by the end of the straightaway. It is going to be helped by Adam Pelk's draft slipstream. He'll have to get by Adam pretty quickly though. Really gained time on him there into the braking zones. Shows how much new tires matter as Adam on the old medium. Tyler Heff, actually wait, it didn't switch Heff's tires. Oh wow, okay. Tyler Heff is not on new tires. He decided to I don't think you're allowed to do that. I'm not exactly sure. I think unless I'm wrong, but it looked like he also might have had a little bit of an off there. But he's getting a lot of time on Knickel, so I think he just didn't pit for tires. I mean, he pit obviously, but he didn't take on tires as Roby Chad comes down pit road. Same with, nope, Lummel will decide to stay out, so he'll get a lap led in this race, coming to lap 13. As Ridwan's not too far behind him, he'll shortly take over the lead of this race once again. Tyler Heff, yeah, it didn't give him tires, so he's going to have to come back down pit road and put on tires. Heartbreaking for Tyler Heff, who had a really good shot at P2 in this race. Unfortunately, it's going to come away now at the end as Steve Kuntz now is going to slide into that final podium spot once Adam Pelk and Riker Lummel decide to take their mandatories. Roby Chad is going to come out of pit road in P6 just ahead of Rosario. That'll be P4 when everything's said and done as Steve Kuntz tries to reel in Knickel. He's on the soft tires compared to Knickel on the medium, so he should be able to reel him in. It's just about passing. With that 5/10 penalty he's got to, it's going to hurt him. Knickel, really sharp angle into the corners. Adam Pelk going to go back at him here. As now Steve Kuntz able to gain in even more time here. Has the gap down to 7/10 as Knickel's going to have to try and go the long way around as Adam Pelk continues to battle him. Almost got into the side of him. He's going to let him by. Finally, oh! Steve Kuntz into the side of Pelk as AJ got off the corner wrong. AJ having to battle Adam really hard here. Not really sure why Adam's battling him this hard. AJ went really wide in that corner. It's going to allow Steve to look up his inside. Not going to happen, though. As Steve trying to complete the pass on Adam now. It's going to happen pretty easily compared to AJ Knickel. Steve got into the back of Knickel there and then got into the side of AJ because of it. Or, I mean, Adam, sorry, man. Adam goes really wide in that corner. He's going to have to brake really hard to cut back right to get onto pit road. AJ Knickel probably had some choice words there for Adam Pelk after all that. Riker Lummel also decides to swing it down pit road. So those two will give their positions on track for tires and fuel. Meanwhile, Spade and Roby Chad and Fernando Rosario trying to reel in these two. One of them is on the mediums. Robichad is on the medium, so I don't think he'll be able to reel him in as much as he'd like. But Rosario still has a shot at a podium spot, as Steve Kuntz trying to reel in AJ Knickel now. Down the straightaway, gap down to 5/10, within 5/10 even. Knickel trying all he can to hold off Steve Kuntz on these on these medium tire. We'll be coming to lap 15 here at the line. Steve Kuntz got off that corner really, really squirrely. Steve Kuntz gonna dive it up the inside. Really risky move, not able to make it happen. Knickel loose off the corner, gonna allow Steve Kuntz to reel him in even more. Steve gonna look to the right-hand side here once again. Preferred line for this corner. Gotta make it easy for Knickel though. Gonna let off, get back in line. Trying to use a slipstream to his advantage. Get past Knickel another way. Knickel's gonna go wide though and allow Steve Kuntz to go through, and then Knickel's gonna get the time penalty on top of it. Knickel now in danger of losing that final podium spot to Robichad or Rosario here. Rosario still not able to get around Stefan on older softs though, so that could be the issue here. It's gap down to 1.6 now between Stefan and Knickel. Now Steve Kuntz is going to look to check out a 19-second gap from the leader to P2. Ridwan has really just ran away, took those softs, got away on the start, never looked back. It's Knickel losing a lot of time here to these two, as Rosario now trying to look to the right-hand side of Robichad as they still try and gain time on Knickel. Knickel doesn't look like he's enjoying those medium tires too much. Knickel gonna have to serve his time penalty right there. We'll see how much time he loses. The gap was 1.6. Entering the corner, it's gonna be about 1.1. So about 5/10. If it was a longer straightaway, probably would have lost a lot more, using all the curbing possible there on exits. Robichad, as he's got the gap now within a second, entering the first corner. Through the first corner, he's able to reel in Knickel just a little bit more, not by much. He's able to gap Rosario though, and that's what he really needs. He doesn't need pressure out back while trying to reel in Knickel. Knickel tries to keep P3 in that final podium spot. Get back out to 1.1. What Knickel really needs here is just no more mistakes, honestly. Just no off-track penalties. Just keep it clean and on the racetrack, and he'll be good. Man, Knickel really loose off that corner. That's going to hurt him. So he'll lose about 3/10 there, as he had the gap out to about 1.2, and now it's within a second once again. Let's go back to Knickel here. 9/10, almost within 9/10 there. So he continues to lose time here. Back to 1 second though. Got a few corners there where he was a little bit quicker than Robichad. Two Canadians try and battle out for this final podium spot, as Rosario was right back on the bumper. Robichad once again. That can't really help Robichad when he's got a mirror full of a race car as he tries to chase someone else down. 1 second there was the gap of the line, but continues to stretch out with that good exit from Knickel off the final corner. The first corner, Knickel once again better. Oh no, off the exit, Knickel lost a huge amount of time. Knickel now gonna lose P3. He might lose P4 too if Rosario's able to go around the outside. Fernando Rosario gonna take P4 away at the moment. He's gonna try and cover off Knickel, and he's not able to do it, and half spins himself off of that corner. Rosario felt that Knickel didn't have enough car there, and Knickel kept his nose in and takes P4. Contact with Rosario. It won't matter though, as Knickel now will try and keep his head down. This goes a little bit wide there on entry. Stefan tries to pull away. So we'll be coming to 2 to go at the line. I think Ridwan is coming out of the final corner. Yeah, 2 to go. It's Ridwan, 17-second gap. He's let off a little bit, but that also has to be some of the mediums and some of Steve Kuhn's soft tires, as he's pulled a 5.5-second gap on Stefan Robichad. Knickel has the gap to 5/10 now. He tries and takes back P3. A little bit of slipstream help. Rosario probably using up all of his stuff at this point to try and reel back in Knickel and Robichad for that final podium spot. Three-way battle for it. It's further back in the pack. We have I'll keep watching him before I go back in the pack. See if Knickel or Robichad get loose off of that corner. It looks like Robichad had a really loose entry. Knickel going to be able to use the slipstream now. See if he's able to make a move up here, up the hill. He's going to go. Will he dive it? He will. He looks to the right-hand side. He's going to dive it up the inside of Robichad. Not going to happen though. Robichad late on the brakes, able to keep P3 for the time being. So that helps Rosario reel these guys in. Maybe not though. It looks like he lost a little bit of time there off the corner. Knickel now, he's going to have to wait probably another lap for his move. Got it really late on the brakes there. Lucky he didn't get into the back of Robichad. It's further up front, final 2 corners. Ridwan Hamza is going to hit the line for the final lap. Continue without a mistake. His run of feature wins. Still has not lost a feature race this season. That's someone else, I think, with that 5/10 penalty. Rosario's reeled in Knickel. Knickel's lost a bit of time to Stefan Robichad. He's going to have a really good final 2 corners here if he wants any chance at Stefan Robichad on the next lap. Off the corner, Stefan a little loose entering and throughout. Able to keep the gap steady though, about 6.5 tenths as AJ tries to use the slipstream to his advantage through these final 2 long straightaways. Knickel all of the curbing on entry, tries to gain as much time as possible. Got the gap down to 1.5 there. Wait, 5.1. Jesus. Wait. Okay, I'm just gonna stop talking. Anyway, Robichad able to keep the gap pretty steady. Knickel late on the brakes once again, using up all the curbing on entry. Oh, really loose off of that corner is Knickel. He's gonna lose a boatload of time there to Stefan. Not as much actually as you'd think with how loose his race car got. But back up to the front, Ridwan Hamza exiting one of the final corners on this racetrack. I mean, just once again, pure domination. He's able to get around his teammate Tyler Heft there early in the going, about 5 laps through this race and never looked back. Led every lap that he didn't pit on after that. Ridwan easily going to take this win and continue his streak of feature race wins. Ridwan Hamza wins the feature race here at Red Bull Ring. Steve Kuhn's P2 easily going to take that away as Stefan Robichad able to fend off Knickel. Knickel solid 2 corners and he'll have P4, but it won't be the podium he wants. Yeah, Stefan Robichad is going to take this final spot on the podium without a time penalty here. As AJ Knickel is going to come on P4, 1 spot short of the final podium spot, Stefan Robichad. P5, Fernando Rosario. Him, all things considered. Keenan Kimber, P6. Solid finish for him after a few weeks of struggle. Tyler Heft should have been a podium, but unfortunately he's going to come home with a P7 instead. Luke Allen, P8, battling with Riker Lummel. Oh no, that's going to hurt. That's going to take away Luke Allen's P8. Yeah, it's going to move him down into P9. Riker Lummel, P8. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, P10. Marcus Snow, P11. Gabe Gazzola looks like he had a few issues. Same with Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. They both fell through the pack, P12. Adam Pelk, P13. Jamal Stalling is going to come around the final corner for P14. And Connor Hannick will round out the field in P15. Actually, I want to touch on this. Luke Allen was, I'm pretty sure, P15 at one point in this race. He was able to make some time up and get back to P8. Lost it at the line with a 5/10 penalty, moved him down into P9. So, nonetheless, still pretty good stuff from him as we'll get our podium finishers in here now. for interviews. So hopefully they know. Actually, I'm not sure why he's here, but
Inviting people.
oh, okay. Alright, so that's what happened to Gabe Cazola. According to him, he was hit off the racetrack, so fortunately for Cazola, but hopefully he'll be able to rebound next week. Just patiently wait for our podium finishers now to hop into the party. We'll check. Waiting for Steve Kuntz to join, and then we'll be good to go. Alright, there we go. Alright, we'll start with our third place finisher, Stefan Robichad. We'll start with I guess you're off on the first lap. Take us through that. What happened there? All right. Well, like I said, pretty good comeback for you. Or I haven't said that yet, but I was gonna say pretty good comeback through the field. Able to really drive your way through. Congrats on your podium. And then we'll go to Steve Kuntz. I mean, just an all-around solid run there. Take us through that strategy with going onto the soft slate. Did you already have that in mind, or was that just a thing on the fly? Yeah, like you said, Ridwan, kind of just in his own league, but nonetheless, you ran a really good race, able to get around Knickel late in the going. Congrats on your P2. And then I'm pretty sure, let me do the math one more time. What is that? And then AJ finished P4, so I'm pretty sure Ridwan Hamza is the champion. I'm almost certain of this season, so congrats on your
I can
championship first
confirm.
off. Yeah, Ridwan Hamza, champion for this season. Congrats on your championship, and I guess really just take us through your opinions on the race. I can't really say much. You kind of just dominated once again.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for telling me I'm champion. I didn't actually know that, so that's cool. Um, yeah, the race was perfect. The car is OP for the track, I won't lie. The Genesis is the best car suited to Red Bull Ring, and I, as a driver, enjoy driving Red Bull Ring a lot. So, like, it all was set up for me to have a really strong round, so it it was good. I felt good. Everything fell into place, and yeah, it's nothing much more to say, really.
Yeah, pretty much just domination. It's continued your streak of feature wins. Still have not lost a feature win. Congrats on, I guess, the
Yeah.
championship and the sweep of tonight here at Austria.
Yep, thank you.
All right, and then before I go off the air here, let me thank the sponsors. We got DIVEBOMB, SimLeague Pro, James McAdam, AJ Knickel Designs, Burning Rubber Podcast, and I think there's one more. Or is that it? I think that's it. I think that's all we got for sponsors. That's it. Pretty solid races tonight. A little bit of change of pace from last week that was Monza. That way we had that craziness of a race. So pretty calm race nonetheless here. Got a little hectic there for P3 at the end, but that's it. Thanks for everyone tuning in, and we'll be back next week at, oh no, I lost. I'm not exactly sure. Barcelona. There you go. All right. Next week at Barcelona, and tomorrow night you can catch APC, commentated by Riker Lummel. So that's about it.